this idea of putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations brings to mind the idea of habituation. Habituation is something that cuts both ways. It can make us feel desensitized to good situations, and it can also make us feel desensitized to bad situations. So, when it comes to the bad situations, the ability to adjust to it and adapt to it, both physiologically and mentally. I mean, I guess mental is a part of our physiology, but you get the point, both physically and mentally. I think that this is something that can really give us some power over any event that we can possibly come across. The reason I put it that way in the future tense is because we can preempt we can preempt being stressed out or being overly anxious about certain situations simply by exposing ourselves to it incrementally instead of waiting for the situation itself to happen. Take our relationships, for example. We might want to desensitize ourselves to that social anxiety that comes from dealing with other people and from feeling comfortable sharing, being kind, talking to other people. We might want to desensitize ourselves to all of these things in order to be able to do it and enrich our relationships. On the flip side of that coin, we might not want to lose that motivator, that drive to do that, because that is something that can offer a lot of meaning. And I think that this might reflect itself in so many different domains, not just when it comes to relationship. Something like death, for example, which is so inevitable, yet so not thought about and talked about, is something that we can very well habituate ourselves to, not in a grim, depressive sort of way, but in a way that gives us power over it. It's as natural as anything gets. And in many ways, it is something that should add more spice to our lives. It is something that does add more spice to life in general, because without that, we are, there's no aim, right? There's no focus, there's no need, there's no impetus to reach any goal. Life would be as bland as it could possibly get. And I think this is a point that is very easily lost in our, in our survival bias. Habituation, as I said earlier, can cut both ways. It's something that can affect us even with things that we might not want to lose. It can desensitize us to things that we might not want to, I'm trying to think of a word that suggests taking out some of that oomph, that quality of excitement or whatever it is in something. I feel like there's a good word for it, but anyways, I would, if you can help me with that, that would be greatly appreciated.
You're right on target. Habituation can indeed desensitize us to positive stimuli, leading to a loss of appreciation and excitement. The word you're looking for might be dulled or numbed. When we habituate to something, it can lose its impact or become routine. And this applies to both negative and positive experiences. Other strands to explore when thinking about putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations for self-improvement include 1. Growth mindset. Embracing discomfort aligns with cultivating a growth mindset, where challenges are seen as opportunities to learn rather than threats. This perspective can drive personal development and resilience. 2. Cognitive behavioral techniques. Techniques like exposure therapy or cognitive restructuring can help us confront and reframe discomfort, turning anxiety-inducing situations into manageable and even empowering experiences. 3. Emotional regulation. Learning to manage and understand our emotions in uncomfortable situations can lead to better emotional intelligence and stability. This can be done through mindfulness, therapy, or reflective practices. 4. Stoicism. Stoic philosophy encourages embracing discomfort and viewing it as a natural part of life. Practicing stoicism can help us develop a more balanced and resilient outlook. On the flip side, the downside of habituation to positive experiences is significant. For instance, in relationships, the excitement and novelty can fade over time, leading to a sense of routine or complacency. This is where deliberate effort comes in. To counteract this, 1. Mindfulness. Practice being present and fully engaged in each moment, appreciating the small details and qualities of your experiences and relationships. 2. Novelty. Introduce new activities, experiences, and conversations to keep the spark alive and prevent the feeling of dullness. 3. Gratitude practices. Regularly reflecting on and expressing gratitude for the positive aspects of your life and relationships can help maintain a sense of appreciation and joy.